Chapter 62. Dylan is perched with his mates on the wall opposite the cafe, like a line of rooks sort of squeezed onto a telephone line. They turn as one to stare at me as I cross the road. Might only be a distance of 20 yards, but it feels as if I'm crossing the valley of death on a pogo stick, especially after the last time. Two of them nudge Dylan. The first he ignores, the second knocks him off the wall, so he's standing there waiting for me. This isn't exactly how I mapped it out, but I have a feeling this is the time. Maybe the only time in my life when I have to bite the bullet, step up to the mark, and all those horrible cliches grown-ups use when they want you to do something you'd rather not. Except that this time, I want to do it. I stop right in front of Dylan, block out the onlookers and the idea that he could blow me out of the water and make me a laughingstock again, because I know deep down I would not be doing this if he wasn't a good person, as well as entirely hot. Dylan Clancy, would you like to go out with me? The look on his face, well, it's hard to read. It's like shock and amazement and double chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream in a blender. As far as I'm concerned, right now we are the only two people in the world. The whole of the world, the earth, the universe and galaxies and infinity and beyond. I mean, like, properly. No mention of parents, not even once. I'll even snog you in front of Simon no matter what he says, and I promise not to run off without explaining why and without coming back, or to keep secrets unless they're to do with Mammoth's birthday presents or Christmas or something. And I'm sorry I went a bit obsessed over Jeremy, but it was such a novelty, really. I didn't know how I felt. Then I sort of run out of words, so I looked down at my scuffed shoes. Any day now a toe will shoot out and start growing like a tree, because Dylan hasn't said a word. I don't even see the kiss until it lands on my lips, like a feather. I'll take that as a yes, I say, grinning. He shrugs and we kiss again. This day I will never forget. This day is spectacularly good. Just because it worked for your mum, says Grace, and let me remind you, it didn't. This does not mean you are ever to matchmake me, says Grace when I call in to break the news. All the news. So you don't want to meet Dylan's cousin? I fiddle with her mascara set. He arrived over this morning from Glasgow. He's called Rod. Of course not, she says. But in the sort of way you say things when you've backed yourself into a corner and there's a dragon slobbering over the thoughts of eating you, but which bit to eat first? Then someone says, you don't want me like to kill the dragon first? You could always come along and say hello, I say. Warn him about my matchmaking skills. Suppose I could, she says. Scott's accent is pretty awesome. Might want to do your usual walk through the spray of perfume thing. This room's pretty ripe, I say. She flings a cushion at me. I can't believe you're actually chatting up my dad online. Yeah, she says, yuck. She engulfs the room in enough perfume to keep a hot air balloon aloft, if it was gas, that is, not perfume. We both walk through the haze into our new lives as fully fledged women of the world. I think I've gone off Brad Pitt, she says, as we emerge refumed, casually dumping years of shared fantasies about Brad arriving in Drashog and declaring undying love for us both, but really only for me. What do you think of Johnny Depp? Apart from the weird little beardy thing, I say. Yeah, I mean, if he shaved off his beard, he'd be really hot. Probably only grows it so people don't recognise him when he shaves it off, she says. So Grace prefers Depp to Brad. I can't even speak. I let her go on and on. It's as if she has swallowed every movie he's ever made. When did this happen? She quotes lines from them. This is so wrong. Whatever happened to best friends for life and sharing everything and knowing each other inside out? Okay, that'll be kind of disgusting. I don't mean it literally. I also kind of fancy Angelina Jolie, she says. Well, okay. Fair enough. I slip my arm through hers and think, more of Brad for me. And it's not fair to expect best friends to be perfect. Yeah, they're both okay. As arranged, Dylan has brought Rod to the cafe. They're sitting in the window with their backs to us, but I can still tell which one is Dylan. When they turn, like reindeer on a sharp corner, we both take a deep breath. While Dylan is pale and poetic, Rod looks positively Spanish and long-lashed. I have to pinch Grace's arm to get her to move forward. Dylan and we feel like proud parents, but I'm the one who does the introductions. Hi, I'm Angelica, and this is Grace. We're not vampires or werewolves, and my father was not swallowed by a whale. Did I mention that Dreshog is the best place in the world to be 14? The end.